the General's Office and the staff from Parliament. My name is Judith Mukwita Mambo. I am the Town Clerk for Mazabuka Municipal Council. Thank you. I'll allow my team to introduce themselves.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. My name is Benjamin Manda. I'm the Director of Engineering.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. My name's Samuel Mpande, Chief Intern Auditor for the Council, Mazabuka.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, Honorable Members. Good morning, Auditor General. My name is Valentino Mwemba, the Director of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members. My name is Miapekwa Squibele, Socio-Economic Planner.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. My name is Whited Mujika, the Procurement Officer, Mazabuka Municipal Council.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable members, starting with Honorable Simumba.
Thank you very much, Chair, and Mazabuka. You are most welcome to your committee, and Happy New Year. We thought maybe I've brought us some sugar canes. I'm Honorable Simumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde. You are most welcome.
Morning, Chair. Morning, Mazabuka, and welcome. Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province and a member of the committee. You're welcome once again.
Chair, good morning. Good morning, honorable members and everyone. Mazabuka, you are welcome to Mandev constituency, where I represent the good people of Mandev. My name is Christopher Shakafuso. I'm a member of the committee. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, our permanent witnesses, and good morning, Mazabuka. This is Honorable Luhamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Kaoma District, Western Province. And I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Chair, thank you so much. And Mazabuka, you are welcome to your committee, a friendly committee of yours. Mutelo Mishek is my name, MP for Mitete. Chair, I do not want to declare interest. I would have declared interest.
Honorable Kamundo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning. Good morning, Honorable colleagues. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, Mazabuka Council. You are welcome to this committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I represent the people of Mufumbwe constituency.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning,
morning.
Honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, Mazabuka Council. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I'm Member of Parliament for the good people of Kabubushi. I'm also Vice Chairperson of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Town Clerk, my name is Mulunda Darius. I'm the Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency and the Chairperson for the Committee on Local Government Accounts. The committee appearing before this morning. As per tradition in Town Clerk, members of Parliament enjoy the immunity in the House under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, and the same is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that you are conferred with the immunity that whatever you say during our interaction will not be used against you in any courts of law. However, if you choose to mislead this committee, misguide it, misinform it, the same Cap 12 will be used against you. And I have no doubt in my mind that we wouldn't take that route, and that you are going to give us factual information, truthful information this morning, which will help us write a report, the report then which we submit to the main house. With that guidance, Town Clerk, I will now invite you to submit your report. With further guidance that the Town Clerk, we are just going to read the query, and then to management responses, and then the action that you have taken as management and the remedies that you are offering to that particular query. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll begin with the query which is on page 3, Chair. The cause for the query. So the query is with regards to the completion of Chobana School. And the cause for the query, management wishes to report that the query was due to poor workmanship because the contractor had not followed the contractual supervisory advice and instructions that were rendered during the site possession. We wish to further add that at the time of audit, Chair, management had already noted the said defects through the engineer's inspection report, and the contractor had been written to for him to address the observed defects. Unfortunately, he had not yet rectified the problem by the time the auditors visited the site. I have supporting documents attached on Appendix 1. Action taken. Management wishes to report that immediately these defects were noted, the contractor was written to and he was instructed to rectify these defects, and these have since been worked on as shown in the pictures that are submitted on page 4, going to page 5. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that we will intensify our usual inspections and we will closely monitor the works at critical stages before any contractor proceeds to the next stage. And we will also issue warnings to erring contractors and blacklist those who deliberately do not adhere to the set standards. And as a district, we also commit to engage these contractors in capacity building, especially the new and upcoming ones. Then I go to the appendices. Thank you, Chair. Appendix 1, budget performance. Cause of the query. Management wishes to report that when the 2022 constituency development funds were disbursed to local authorities, we had to wait for specific instructions from the ministry before commencing any expenditure, especially on loans and on community projects. Hence, the funds had to sit in the accounts for some time. We further wish to submit that the variance which is appearing for 2 million per constituency was as a result of funds that were withheld by the ministry for the central procurement of motor vehicles. In addition, Chair, the council had a balance brought forward of 5.1 million, that is under Mazabuka Central Constituency, and 2.5 million under Magoe for ongoing projects. On action taken, management wishes to report that the council has since spent funds amounting to 49,037,893.47, which is a breakdown of 22.9 million and 21.2 million between Mazabuka Central Constituency and Magoe constituency, leaving a balance of 3.5 million 437.53. Chair. 473, Chair. Yes, thank you very much. Mazabuka Central Constituency, taking 790,397 as a balance, and Magoe taking 2.5 million. And the breakdown of these amounts are shown in the table that is on the following page, that is page 8. And then we have appendices also that are showing ledgers with the breakdown of the expenditure. Chair, should I read through the table?
No, please skip that. Go to the remedial measures.
Thank you, Chair. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that we are optimistic that such a situation will not recur, because as at now, all the instructions with regards to implementation of CDF funds are now clear, and management will further ensure that whenever funds are disbursed, there will be timely implementation of projects. Failure to spend. Management response. Management wishes to acknowledge the findings of the auditor and wishes to state that these unspent funds were initially meant for another project, but they were allocated to boreholes. And these boreholes that are contained in the report, Chair, were not the initial project that was approved by the CDFC, but they came into the picture as a variation from a project of construction of crossing point, which was the initial project. But we could not fund this project because it was later revealed that the crossing point was going to be funded through another stream of income through the central government on a World Bank project under the Integrated Rural Connectivity Project. Hence, the CDF committee had to vary the funds from this project of crossing point to boreholes. So when they did approve the funding of the boreholes, in commencing the procurement process, management again faced another hurdle of finding a contractor, Chair, who was willing to drill the boreholes at the approved amount of 40,000 kwacha per borehole, which was allocated by the CDFC committee. When we did the adverts, we could not secure a willing contractor in good time because this amount, according to the contractors that we are bidding, was too low compared to the bids that we were receiving. And this prolonged the procurement process. We wish to add that the council has finally secured a willing driller, and this was done on the 11th December of 2023. I have supporting documents in Appendix 3. Action taken. Management wishes to report that after a long search, the contract was awarded, and the contractor has since accepted the award and mobilized. However, due to the rain season, again, we have received a request for him not to continue with the works as at now due to the wet season. And we have the supporting documents attached to Appendix 4. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report to this committee that we will endeavor to provide clear advice to the Constituency Development Fund committees on the importance of adherence to the advice and the recommendations coming from the technical committee, especially on the allocation of funds, so that we avoid similar occurrences of allocating less funds. Appendix 8, failure to disburse soft loans. Management response. Cause for the query. Management wishes to respond that this query was as a result of some applicants under Magoe constituency not submitting the full information with regards to their loans as requested by the bank for verification. Hence, the funds could not be disbursed to them immediately. We have supporting documents in Appendix 5. On action taken, Chair, management wishes to submit that The applicants were communicated to for them to submit the documents that the bank was requesting for, and the funds have since been disbursed to them, and this was done on 26th October 2023. The supporting documents are attached on Appendix 6. A remedial measure. Management wishes to report that all applicants who will be recommended in future will be taken through a thorough scrutiny process to ensure that they do what the bank is requesting of them in good time, to avoid all the back and forth with the bank and further delays. Appendix 9, bursaries, secondary school boarding and skills development, failure to report. Under Mazabuka Central Constituency, 30 students who did not report. Cause of the query. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and would like to report that funds were disbursed to the school before actually doing the due diligence on our part. Action taken. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and would like to report that we successfully recovered 30,600 for 17 students who did not report. Further, we wish to report that a team was constituted by the town clerk's office to go to the schools and to the training skills centers to ensure that we verify the presence of learners, and we conducted the head count to rectify the anomalies. The supporting documents are attached on Appendix 7. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that we will conduct more sensitization and awareness on the benefits of skills training through radios, the radio programs, to ensure that the youths have a clear understanding of the benefits that are attached to them attaining these skills, so that they will not fail to report for these programs that they applied for. And most importantly, management will also will only make payments after undertaking physical verification of learners who are in these institutions. Appendix 11, unretired accountable impressed. Management response.
Town Clerk, we are reliably informed that this particular issue has been resolved.
Okay.
The unretired accountable impressed, so we are skipping that. You can conclude.
Thank you, Chair. That is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kamondo, Honorable Sumumba.
I want to take you to page 4.
Page 4.
The completion of 1x3 classroom block at Chovana Primary School. In the response that came from management, I will just read part of the response. We wish to further add that at the time of audit, management had already noted the said defects through the engineer's inspection report, and the contractor had already been written to for him to address the observed defects. Unfortunately, he had not rectified the problem by the time the auditors visited the site. And also there is a supporting document on Appendix 1. Now, I wanted just to find out whether your monitoring system were up to date or there was a lapse. That is my number one question. The second question is that you have told actually this committee that you had written to this contractor, and which evidence we have here. No, the evidence for writing is not there, but we have the evidence from the engineer's report. Do you have the evidence to show this committee when you had written the contractor so that he can work on these defects? Thank you.
Yes, Chair, we do have the evidence when we had written to the contractor.
Okay, just in addition to the monitoring programs, at which point do you start inspecting or monitoring the progress on any infrastructure that the contractors are undertaking? At what stage do you start doing that?
Maybe I I answer his other question.
Please go ahead.
Okay, then I'll pass the other one to the engineer. So our monitoring system, I can say that it is good and it is up to date, because we were able to recognize these defects, and we were able to bring it to the attention of the contractor. Immediately we saw that the paints were shoddy and that there were cracks that were showing. So we did the inspection in good time, and he was written to in good time. It's only that he was slow in responding. And as for the other question from Chair, I'll pass it on to the Director Engineering.
Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. So we do monitoring and supervision from the inception. Once the contractor takes possession of site, we do start our monitoring and supervision.
This particular building at Chovana, how old was it to the time when you realized it had cracks? How old was this building?
Chair, this was actually a completion project, because this project dated back as far as 2021. So this allocation that came from the 2022 CDF was just for finishing. They were just finishing works. If you look at the amount, it's just about 103,000. The building was already completed, and I think the last contractor had not done the painting and just the plastering and the final works. So this project, funded under the 2022, which was queried, was just for mere finishing works. And it is those finishing works where the auditors and ourselves observed that there were some bit of cracks in the plaster and the shoddy painting.
Okay, because we're trying to establish where this problem is coming. So was this particular contract on full contract, or was labor-based?
There have been other contractors on this same project. So this particular one was just for, we engaged him for completion, because it had not yet been completed to be handed over.
No, because my question, Town Clerk, this particular contract was from inception was full contract. That's the position, and it started in 2021. In 2022, it had the cracks. We realized there were cracks when the finishing contractor was engaged. You started having many cracks. But what I'm trying to establish is, if it's a full contract starting in 2021, it means your team has been on the ground. So how do a one-year-old building start cracking if it was being monitored? Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, sorry, I'd stepped out. Town Clerk, I wanted to find out from you first before I ask a question. When were you audited?
This was 2023, Honorable.
Do you know the month? You can help. You are all in that team.
It should be October, Chair.
Chair, then my substantive question. You wrote a letter to the contractor in August 2023. The audit was when? October. In August, you wrote this contractor, and you said that your supervision is top-notch. Why did you take long, as this project was a long project, to make some remedial works on the floor and the walls that were cracking or were cracked? That's my question.
Thank you, Honorable. Chair, allow me to pass on this question to my engineer.
Thank you very much.
Maybe you had indicated somewhere that the contractor was ignoring your advice.
Yes.
What type of, just let me finish. What type of contractor, Chair, who is contracted by me or the council, and I give advice that this wall and the workmanship is poor,
then the contractor ignores your advice. Who is this contractor? Is a local contractor? What is so special that he can ignore the master, the funder, who is giving instructions, Chair? Thank you.
Yes.
So I mentioned that he took time to respond to our recommendations, but he did respond. We raised observations that we were not happy with the finishings. We saw cracks in the plastering, and we wrote to him to go back and rectify. And my submission is that he delayed, but eventually he did go there. It's only unfortunate, but by the time he was going there, even the auditors also came and found the same issues that were there. Otherwise, he eventually did comply, and he worked on those.
Honorable Nyambose, your question is not answered. Direct Engineering.
Thank you so much, Chair. I think some of the reasons why a contractor may take time to respond is sometimes due to their financial capacity. That's why we responded actually in the remedial measures that we'll try and intensify or actually do the capacity building, because sometimes local contractors do tend to do the mismanagement of funds when they are paid a certain IPC. So their financial capacities sometimes do bring them down, so we find that they take time to respond.
But you know that ultimately, you local authorities, your primary role is to deliver service. And we have seen, interacting with other local authorities, that at times, because they need to use that particular infrastructure, or they need to deliver service, at times the local authority will take over. If the contractor is dilly-dallying or is not coming forth, they will take over using the retention component. Because ultimately that we are saying you have to deliver service to this school.
Just to add on, the words that I used when I was reading this, that the contractor kept on ignoring supervisor's advice, is from the report. And you said no, he was not ignoring, he just took long. So I don't know which is which. These are semantics. Then the director is saying financial capacity. As the chair has indicated, the role of Mazabuka and the expectation of the people of Mazabuka is the delivery, quick delivery, as espoused by the president, quick delivery of the project at the right price and the quality. So if you see this particular project, the quality is not to expectation, quick delivery. So we are failing the vision carriers' vision to ensure that councils do the correct thing. So in this particular case, where this contractor, you are saying that you want to ensure that you continue sensitizing them, building capacity. They have taken and they have relaxed, Chair, because they know the council, whatever they will find, no, we are building capacity to them, depriving the people of Mazabuka the facility. So where are you, the council? Are you there to just build capacity of contractors or to deliver the goods and services expected by the Zambian government?
Thank you. Maybe before you respond, Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. It's interesting, actually, when you look at the works that were being done here, the scope of work were not too much. So I'm still wondering whether Mazabuka Management Council, whether you were doing a proper monitoring. Because one of the scope of works was just plastering and painting. Then, do you expect a one-year building to crack without monitoring systems? Because if you were monitoring on time, you would have realized that this contractor, from the beginning, that this contractor was not doing a good job. But it looks like the way I asked that there was a lapse. And would you agree, If it was your own building, you just did it within a year and then it starts, where were you? Because the moment actually you saw the cracks, you should have actually advised the contractor to work on those, other than wait until the auditors would come with a query. What could have happened? We are still not satisfied.
Chair, the cracks were not on the superstructure. They were on the plastering that this particular contract is under discussion. It was not 1 year for this particular component that is being audited. But previously, there's been other contractors who had worked on this project, abandoned it, and that is the history of this project. So the one who was finally given the works to complete is now the one who did not do a very good job in the plastering. And the cracks were observed in the plastering and the shoddy painting. That is what was queried. And that is what we also noticed, and we communicated and asked him to rectify, and which he did.
So the cracks were emerged, the cracks from your response, the cracks emerged within a year, because this particular building, the building and other things were done 2021, but this year, immediately, he started plastering and the painting. So within 12 months, the cracks on the plastering emerged. Is that the position?
Chair, I'll ask the engineer to respond to that.
Maybe before engineer will come in, just hold on, engineer. Honorable Simumba. So you can marry there.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I also wanted to find out if this particular issue of the contractor was given the right material to use. Because if you state to say the cracks emerged just within the year, did he use the right material that you specified yourself? Or you were not there when he was using the material, the sand that maybe could have complied with acid and so forth? Were you there? Did you specify the right material for that building to have cracks, Chair, within a year? I submit, Chair.
Director Engineering.
Thank you so much, Chair. First of all, I would like to mention that under the contract, we have the defect liability period. That is a period where we do observe the building, because we know that once in construction, it's very possible to, it may not be 100% possible to not have minor snags, as it may be seen in the report that the crack is actually just superficial. So we definitely were monitoring, and it's
Director Engineering. You should not bring this thing to sound like it was just a small thing, because it's on Auditor General's report.
Sure.
And maybe in addition, what is trivializing the query, and you said actually to you is just a normal thing that every building will have such, would have cracks. Maybe we would also want to hear from you as you're explaining. Please keep it in mind. As you're explaining, want to hear from you. One, in your explanation, earlier explanations, you are saying at times the contractor has no capacity. Now here's the contractor. How did you qualify this particular contractor? Was he the only bidder or something? Because one, he doesn't have the capacity. The know-how is not there. It can't have a building that will start cracking, or somebody who can't even paint properly within a year. And then you cannot have somebody who delays because he's delaying because he doesn't have the financial capacity. So how did we qualify this particular contractor, even as you continue the route you have taken?
Thank you so much, Chair. Yes, Chair, I was mentioning that it was under defect liability period, so we were monitoring, and that's the reason why we were
What's the period? What's the defect liability period?
For this particular contract, we had given over 6 months to 1 year.
What is the standard engineering?
The standard is a year, at least all the 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the reason why it was still under defect liability, and he came to rectify the defects. And then coming to the qualification, definitely he qualified. Like I mentioned earlier, to say sometimes as the project is going on, these local contractors or some contractors may mismanage the funds when they are paid an IPC.
Just a bit, because the nation is listening and everybody is listening. When you don't say a blanket statement saying he qualifies, because we have queries on him. So when you are saying he qualifies, you must add some beef on it. He qualifies. He had the best profile, company profile. He had the best, financial muscle according to the financial statements from his company accounts and things like that. So those should qualify somebody to start with. But you should also explain to us, yes, in those fields he was okay. So that now we interrogate more and find out why he's failing here. If he's got a very good profile, he's got what it takes to run any contract.
Thank you so much. Yes, he was the best evaluated bidder at the time the bidding was done. So that's the reason why he did qualify, meaning he had all the components that we were looking for. Sure, Chair.
Honorable Nyambose, Honorable Monza, and then
Chair, I want to beg that we move to the next question. On the same.
On the same.
On the same, I just wanted to pass a comment because the director said those defects were superficial. He's encouraging that those are normal. Now, Chair, Director Engineer, are you aware there is this saying that when you give a Chinese to do some works, they are perfectly done. Give a Zimbabwean, they are perfectly done. Give a Malawian or Tanzanian, perfectly done. But Zambians, here you are, justifying for them that these cracks are normal. So are you encouraging shoddy work by some of the contractors? Not all of them. Some Zambian contractors are doing very well. Not all of them. But now we are seeing that wastage of CDF because of that encouragement that is coming from Director Engineering. I submit.
Is it on the same honorable members? On the same one? It's a different one? Okay. Okay, these the two honorable members, Honorable Mwanza and Honorable Kamondo, on the same, then we can move.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency. Council Secretary through the Works, Director Works. When the contractor completed the job, standard practice is that you conduct a snag list. For this particular defect, was it part of the snag list? And if so, where is the evidence?
Honorable Kamondo, so that we...
All right. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Actually, from the management has told this committee that this query arose because of poor workmanship, because the contractor had not followed the contractual supervisory advice and instructions rendered during the site possession. And this is, they know very well that he had not followed. At what time did you know that he had not followed? And if so, why did this contractor decide to ignore the instructions that you gave him? Why did he ignore? Because we have been told and we have heard that some people within those who are closer to the council, they would go ahead and bid. But because of the face which is there, people like yourselves, you fail to actually give instructions to those people. And you favor some. Others, they are able to get your instructions, and others they would ignore. What was so special about this contractor to ignore the instructions that you gave him?
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair.
You have gotten that strong allegation.
Yes, I've gotten.
That the faces. Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Chair, these contractors, when they are been awarded a contract, there is a scope of work and the details that are involved in the scope of work. That is what we call the instruction of what they need to do. And the on-site possession, that is their instruction, and that is the award of contract that they have been given and which they have accepted. And so when we hand over the site, we expect a contractor that is worth his salt to go and do the work according to the stated instructions. And so when we go to do the inspection, Chair, and we find that there's some things that are showing up, that is the time that we now say, look, we have observed these cracks. And that is what we did. We observed the cracks in the plaster, and we observed that the initial coating of the paint that he did was shoddily done. And we were proactive enough to write him and tell him that these are the defects, can you work on them? And that is the action. And I think within our power, those are the things that we could do at that stage. And we do not condone shoddy works as Mazabuka. I'll be happy to say that we do supervise, but then we cannot be there at the time, like everywhere where these contractors are, to be there to see how they are mixing the cement and so on. Mazabuka is vast. We supervise and we monitor in stages. So when we give contractors who have qualified, we expect that they should do the work properly. And when we find these defects, we raise them to the contractors and we ask them to rectify. I think that is how projects are monitored.
Town clerk, we appreciate, but...
and then, sorry, Chair,
yes,
over those allegations, we don't have favored contractors over a face. No, because our interest is that the funds should be spent amicably on good works and buildings that are going to stand the test of time. Thank you, Chair.
Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair, and through you, Chair, to Mazabuka Council, Town Clerk. I think under the council we have the engineering department, and if we're going to give excuses that we cannot be everywhere because Mazabuka Council, Mazabuka constituency is vast, then we are going to be saying indirectly that it is okay even if we have these defects, because you cannot be everywhere. And what we must understand is that first and foremost, that is taxpayers' money, and you as an institution should take full responsibility that even from the mixing, things are done properly. But if we're going to say we cannot be there, it's like we're dodging. We're saying it is okay that there can be defects there, because you as a council will not be available to monitor that. And maybe this gives me a pause to also local government. Local government, can you staff up these institutions? Or otherwise, year in, year out, we are going to be having these queries all the time, because there's understaffing too. Your own councils are actually indirectly agreeing to say that the defects can be there because we cannot be there. So I think somebody from this point, through you, Chair, must take responsibility of the work. This is taxpayers' money, and this is the development that we're expecting in our constituencies. Now, if we're going to be saying, no, we cannot be there, we can only monitor at such a stage, that's why for me, I'm getting the feeling that we're agreeing that all we have to do is, if there's a defect or we have this query, we'll call them, can you fix this? For me, this has to stop, Town Clerk. This has to stop. That's why we have an engineering department. That's why we are given vehicles for monitoring. That's why we have the CTF committee for monitoring. So it's collective responsibility. We cannot run away from that by simply saying we cannot be there. We are only at a certain level. That is why these contractors, they can be good contractors. But at the end of the day, we have these shoddy works because we are indirectly running away from the responsibility that at stage one. I know for a fact that you fall under Ministry of Local Government. The councils, when you are building, at every stage you report to the council. They come and check. They give you a certificate to say this stage was done, whatever. Where is the council town clerk at that point? So for me, I know there's a procedure even with building. Otherwise, the building will be broken down. At stage A, when you have finished, the council must give you a completion certificate to say, yes, the works have been certified. Now, if we're not certifying these works,
you very much. Actually, I wanted to remind the town clerk that that was a bad comment, that we cannot be everywhere. The reason as to why government released these monitoring vehicles, they realized the challenges that we are facing as local authorities. And yes, you will not stand here and be at the same time be in Matero, but you have a duty that you put up a schedule. Mazabuka is vast, but it's not. Mufumbwe is about 600 kilometers from Livingston to from Lusaka to Livingston. One constituency. This honorable you are seeing here, it takes him the whole day to get to the end of the constituency. So Mazabuka is relatively small. So please, that issue of not being anywhere at the same time, we know you are not Jesus Christ to be everywhere at the same time, but at least you would follow. Yes, Honorable Simumba.
Chair, I'll take you to page 11.
Page 11. Honorable members, page 11 of the... Oh, sorry, there is a question that has not been answered. Yes, Honorable... On the snack? Engineer?
Thank you so much. Yes, it was one of the snags that we noticed, and that's the reason why I brought in the defect liability period. Then also in the letter which we've attached, we've mentioned that despite several instructions. So there was a snag list that was done, and then also in the letter, yes, we've written that you've not been following certain instructions that we've been given. No, the snag list is not attached in here.
Chair.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't attach that. Honorable Simumba.
Chair, I'll take you to page 11.
Page 11.
Failure to report. Management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's observation and would like to report that funds were disbursed to the school before due diligence was done. Chair, out of 30, the management is reporting to us that they've managed to recover 30,600 for 17 students. And in their action taken, Chair, I was expecting them to give us some courage that how they are going to, to recover the 49,450 that has remained. But they haven't stated anything. I would want to find out, is this the standard in Mazabuka, that you can even pay students that haven't reported? You pay based on the list or maybe the acceptance letter. Secondly, how are you going to recover this 49,450? Chair, I submit.
Town Clerk.
Thank you very much, Chair. Over the issue of paying for students who had not reported, we wish to acknowledge that this was our omission, Chair, because we just based the payment on the list that was submitted to the schools, and we didn't do a head count. This was our omission. We didn't pay due diligence for those students, which money we later recovered because those didn't go. But over the issue of the 49,000, Chair, I would beg for a verification to be done by the auditors over the data. I may not go further in this one, Chair. I'm asking for a verification.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Is it on the same?
Yes. Do you have evidence of the 30,600 kwacha that you are telling your committee that it was paid back? 1. 2, why did it have to take the auditors first to raise a query on this? And that is when you went in, okay, to do head count and so on. Because this you were supposed to do it even before. But why did you have to wait until the Auditor Generals came for them to raise a query to do what you were supposed to do? Thank you.
Thank you. Town Clerk?
Thank you very much. Chair, we do have evidence that the 30,600 was recovered. It's attached in the appendices.
Appendix number. Honorable Nyambosa? Sorry, Honorable.
Chair, I like the generosity that you have. You just pay. Someone comes, say, no, these are people at my place. Then you say, how much do you want? You pay. Do you realize these are public resources? Supposing these resources were yours, would you take this attitude in terms of releasing monies? Or you did this, I know you have apologized, saying there was an omission. Supposing these resources were yours, would you be so careless, if I can use that word, in giving out these monies? Second question, do you realize the trust that the government has in you officers to be favored in managing these public resources? If you realize, are you the competent team that will do due diligence before, or you'd just be giving out since you are now in those positions? Was this a very good decision that you did? Thank you.
Chair, I admit that it was not a good situation, and we have since taken a very different direction. I'm happy to also report, Chair, that as Mazabuka, we have actually been innovative, and we have come up with the CDF tracking system, which now we are using to track learners and to ensure that we do not make payments for people that we have not verified. I think that was a lesson that we learned from that one when we just started disbursing. I should say it was a learning curve for us, but we are happy to say that we successfully corrected this, and that going forward, we have come up with a system which even other councils want to come and learn on how this one works, because we are managing our data properly now about the students, where they are. With the touch of a button, we are able to click and know where the student is, how much is due. It even generates receipts and award letters to students. So I think we are now managing this thing properly, Chair, and you may have the confidence that we will not have such things happening again. Thank you.
My short question would be, were these the same officers who were there when doing this? And what will change? One of the duties and responsibilities of these officers, I'll give an example, is director planning or socio-economic planner. These are secretariat of the CDF. One of their duties is to ensure that they do a correct thing in terms of CDF. Now, the same officers, what will change? The history about council employees is bad. I've come from you, Chair. You see from the floor of the House, every Zambian has no confidence in the council employees. Even when the president was saying the councils to handle, there was an outcry. The councils have a problem, and it is now manifesting. Now you are telling this committee, next year, or even the operations accounts will come, the same answers will be given. Do you think that the same officers, what will change now? Do you need to put systems, or it is their duty to do due diligence, paid for by the council? I submit.
Yes, Honorable Sumumba, so that we move to...
Yes, so that we move. Chair, I'm still haven't gotten the answer, because according to the submission that our TC here has given us, this 49,450 she stated that they needed to reconcile
With the auditors?
with the auditors. Now, it's already here, Chair. It's before your committee, and we need to know if these funds were recovered or not, so that we move forward.
All right, thank you. Auditor General's Office, do you have a comment on that?
Yes, maybe, yes, sir. I think what we'll do, I think we'll verify on your behalf and give a report.
Let's forward the report to Secretariat. Honorable Shakafuso.
Chair, thank you so much. I have a question on page 9. Where
on page 9,
the CDF committee varied funds of 1.8 to drill boreholes in November 2022, and the council only entered into a contract in December 2023. The narration is that this delayed because you wanted additional funds. And so I've been going through the documents attached. Chair, I want to take you to Appendix 3.
Appendix 3.
And in particular, the minutes of 10th August 2023. So just the second last page on Appendix 3 on recommendation. Are you there, Chair?
Yes.
Yes, so the report was taken to the CDF committee, and the engineer was asking for additional funding for 30,000 for each borehole. Okay? That is on 10th August 2023. In the same Appendix 3, Chair, before the minutes, just before the minutes, there's a memo written to the town clerk from the Procurement and Supplies Unit. Take note of the date. 8th November 2023. Challenges to award contract for the drilling of 40 boreholes. I want to understand.
Do you have that memo?
Did you have a preferred bidder for this contract, hence the delay? The minutes of 10th November, a report is 10th August. You went to seek for permission for additional funds, hence floating the tender on the 19th of September 2022. But here there's a memo saying we have challenges. Did you have a preferred bidder, hence the delay?
No, Chair, we did not have a preferred bidder. As you can see the progression, when we did put out the advert for these 40 boreholes to be drilled, the bidders were coming up with higher, the higher rates, 75,000. I think the lowest must have been a 50,000, 55, somewhere there. And hence, that is why we went to the committee to ask if they could top up on the allocated funds, because the people who were bidding were not agreeing with this the offered amount, the floated amount. So then that is how procurement now had to give a report, because when we were not finding a bidder, procurement was now giving a report to my office that they were finding a challenge with the way the contractors were responding and the money they were asking for.
Yeah, I've asked this question. I'll take you back again to the second last page of the minutes on recommendation. So there are how many paragraphs there? 1, 2, 3. You can read. Are you there, Town Clerk? the deliberations on the minutes of 10th August. Appendix 3, second last page. Second last page. Yes. Are you able to read what is contained in paragraph 3? This is August, before the tender was floated. Read for the committee.
Yes, please go ahead.
In response, the civil engineer informed the committee that the driller had accepted to drill the boreholes at 40,000 after negotiations.
My question, this is 10th August, before the tender. The tender was floated the next month in September. And the council had already engaged the driller who negotiated and accepted to drill at 40,000. Hence the memo asking you that there were challenges because they wanted to go to this driller who was offering 40,000 kwacha. Is this the reason why you could not proceed to award the tender to other bidders? Because you wanted to favor this one who had pre-arranged to drill boreholes with Mazabuka Council at 40,000?
So Chair, if you look at the same recommendations, there was a driller who was already on the ground who had worked with us and drilled 16 boreholes in the same constituency. So this is the driller now. When we had challenges to get another one for the 40 boreholes, it's the one that we had started to negotiate with whether he could take up the works.
The minutes are dated 10th August. This is before the tender. How did you have challenges when you engaged this driller before the tender? Maybe look at the dates of the minutes. Are you able to see the date of the minutes?
Yes, Chair. I'm able to see the date.
When is, what is the date?
It's 10th August.
And when was the tender floated?
Procurement.
I will help him. It was. When was it? When was it floated?
The tender was floated on the. That was 19th of September 2023.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Initially, these are not the only boreholes that we've had a challenge. We've had challenges in all the boreholes. So when we took the report to the TC, we had challenges on the drilling of boreholes before. Hence, after advertising for this, we had the evaluation team had recommended MLR, who had advertised or had rated at 55,000 per borehole. Then, after finding the challenges of the same driller of not coming on site on time, we had actually recommended the other driller to move on site. After engaging him on negotiations, the driller could not accept it to drill the boreholes at 40,000. And after the same driller who was drilling 40 boreholes had moved on site, then the community recommended that why can't we use the same driller who is already on site, who is drilling the boreholes at the same price. That's how we got back to the committee and requested for negotiation to engage the same driller who had drilled 16 boreholes.
Yeah, you see, town clerk and switch off your mic. The confusion or the misunderstanding is here is that you have challenges. Of course, challenges came after negotiating the contractor and settled on 4,000. And is it you who reported now to the committee that he has accepted at 40? So the question that is begging an answer from the honorable colleague is that you negotiated on 10th August, and then you come in September and say we have challenges because the lowest is 55. yet you had somebody whom you had already negotiated with. Even the delayment, the Madam Town Clerk alluded to the fact that actually there are many boreholes that were drilled. So why were you finding challenges of finding somebody when you have somebody that has been drilling at 40,000?
Thank you very much, Chair. Looking at these recommendations that the civil engineer informed the committee, and also looking at the letter that the Mazabuka received the letter on the 8th November 2023 on the challenges. Now, I wanted to find out, after you negotiated, did the very contractor again write you a letter to say he cannot accept this offer of 40,000 to drill a borehole at 40,000 kwacha? Because you already reported and everyone was aware to say the borehole has to be done at 40,000 kwacha. Do we have a letter from the contractor refusing again to say the earlier agreement that we had, I think I cannot go with that agreement? Chair, submit.
Is it procurement?
Chair, I'll ask the procurement to respond.
Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. I think according to the recommendation of the evaluation committee, the evaluation committee recommended MLR because the other driller who had agreed for the previous 16 bores at 40 took time to move on site. Then after recommending MLR, after engaging for negotiations, he only agreed to drill the bores at 50,000 after negotiations. So what we did, when the same contractor who was engaged to drill the 16 bores moved on site, because it's like for the 16, he was awarded somewhere in September. He only moved on site, that was somewhere in November. After doing the 16 bores, it was recommended by the community to say, no, he's doing the right job, and at a pace that is moving, is good. So we would rather use the same driller instead of this one who was then the offer at 50,000. Then why can't we use the same one who agreed to drill at 40 for the 16 bores? That's how we went back to the committee and reported that since the community is saying this contractor who was drilling the 16 is doing fine and he had agreed at 40 for the 16, why can't we use the same one to engage him to do the same bore at 40? That's how we gain them again.
Well, I just want to find out at what stage, at what procurement stage does a community give advice to council to prefer a contractor? Because I think it can be a good lesson for all of us in our constituencies, because this also goes to the question which the honorable member asked, that did you have a preferred bidder in mind? And all these deliberations, they lead to the fact that you had a preferred bidder. Looking at the documentation for minutes and the time that you advertised, because you wanted to find a situation where your preferred bidder would easily be picked. And you're even justifying now that the community, how can the community be privy to the negotiations, including the cost? How can, at what stage is the community involved in the procurement decisions?
Yes.
Thank you.
Because the community is coming out prominently here. That the community, not the council.
Chair, when what the procurement officer means it's not the community as in, it's the CDFC committee when they were being updated. Because we do take, Can I continue,
Sorry, Chair.
Chair?
No.
Wait, Honorable. Yes, continue.
We take updates to the CDF committee on the approved projects, because we have to seek authority for certain decisions when we want funds to be allocated to whatever project. So when we do have a CDF committee, there are updates that come from the engineer, from finance, and so on. So it is during these interactions with the CDF committee, these are members of the community as well. And so they are the ones that we are coming up with these suggestions to say, since there's already someone who is drilling the 16 boreholes and he accepted, and we have had these challenges in finding someone who will drill at the amount. At some point, even the members of the CDF committee were also...
Just a minute. We hear you very well.
The
learned procurement officer
is
able...
It's the English, sir.
No, don't... you see, when you are coming here, you should come to speak one language. He's spoiling it. The learned procurement officer is able to distinguish between CDF committee, Ward Development Committee, and the community. So you cannot say he doesn't know the distinction on those structures. So he cannot. He knows the Ward Development Committee, he knows Management Committee, he knows everything. So for him, the community is what has aroused this interest, which is the community. And that's why he earlier indicated, did you have some preferred bidder, some interest? Doc was asked also, define at what stage does the community come in? This is a serious committee.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, yeah.
For your guide, Chair.
Yes.
I want to know, did Lusito take part in the tender of 19th September, which closed on the 29th September? How much did they bid if they took part?
Procurement.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the bidder did participate. I think the bidder, he was slightly above 40. I think it was about 41,000 kwacha. And that was the lowest bidder we had. When you look at the advert, the inquiries were sent to different drillers, and the lowest was Lusito at 41,000. And the other driller, MLR, was quoting us according to the distance. Then we would find that each lot had different prices for the boreholes by MLR. But with Lusito, the quotations were
flat.
They were
the same, isn't it?
Yeah, they were the same. So initially what we did, there was no one who was falling within 40,000. So we went to the committee and asked for permission to go for negotiation to Lusito, who was at least lower than the other bidders. And he agreed, after engaging him, to drill at 40 because CDF funds are limited.
Chair, why did they not award Lusito then? If they were the cheapest, why did you award the other company? My point is that they went to the committee to do the right thing, to ask for additional funding before the advert was done. But because you had somebody in mind whom you wanted to give the contract to, you didn't want the committee to top up, but instead said that the engineer had actually engaged somebody to do the bores at 40,000 kwacha. That was before you advertised, according to these minutes of 10th August. Then you proceeded now in September to advertise. And when somebody else won, you made sure that you wrote to the town clerk that you were having challenges so that you could go back to the one you reported to the CDF committee, that he would do the bores at 40. Is that the correct version?
Chair, I'll be here to say honestly and sincerely that getting drillers in Mazabuka and Magoye specifically has been a huge challenge for us. That's why you are seeing this back and forth with the 40,000. And I'm seeing that maybe there's a misunderstanding between the first recommendation when we went to ask for the additional 30,000 to be allocated, and also when the engineer informed the committee that the driller had accepted to drill at 40,000 after the negotiations. We ended up going directly now for this one who agreed, because all other efforts were failing, and we were afraid that the rain season will catch up with us, and that is now what has happened. So we did not have a preferred bidder in the beginning. We were sending inquiries, but when we saw that people don't care, they want the amount that they want, and there was that one who had already started doing the works, that is how we ended up now negotiating with the one who finally accepted. So it was nothing like getting a preferred bidder, but it's getting someone who is willing to do the work at the price, at the budget that we had. At the end of the day, we want the work to be done within the time so that the water can get to the people. So if all others are refusing and they are bidding higher amounts than the budget, I think it leaves the procurement entity with no option but to go to the one who has accepted and can still do the work within the budget that you have. Thank you.
I like your energy in explaining these things. I like that energy. But it's not always correct that your explanations will be accepted by everyone. It's not like that. However, we want to conclude with you. We want to appreciate your appearance. And we have realized there are these gaps from the engineering, the procurement, that these gaps we do not wish to meet them when we interact with you in the future. Director Engineering, the government has given you a vehicle, has given the local authority the vehicle, has given the administrative component that you can use to monitor these projects. So you must be on top of things. I'm pretty sure that you have put on a tie today because you are meeting us here. Otherwise, you are supposed to be in a work suit every day. You are a field worker. And make sure that the projects are monitored stage by stage without any excuse. We will not accept your boss, the town clerk, to come and tell us that Mazaboga is vast, Magoye is difficult, because we will rely on you. Have you been there yourself? What did you write? What are those things? But we want you to fill up the gaps and make sure that you work as a team, make sure that you deliver service. Ultimately, what we are looking for is service that will come from the local authority, service that will come from you. We know you have challenges right now. Do you have a public health worker, officer here?
Not with us here.
Not with us. We know that Mazaboga is challenged. We've got the outbreak of cholera, and the local authority should be up in arms, running to make sure that helping the Ministry of Health, you clean the city. We appreciate, and this time want to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our interaction, and wish you well. And as you go back, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Honorables, and we wish you well as well.
You are free to leave.
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
My name is Honorable Dr. Christopher Kalila, MP, Member of Parliament for Lukulu East, Parliamentary constituency. Lukulu East is in Western Province, approximately 700 to 750 kilometers westwards, and after Kaoma you go northwestwards. So Lukulu is one constituency and one district. According to the 2022 census of population, it's currently housing more than 96,000 inhabitants in terms of the population, and I must say that it's sparsely populated with roughly about 14 persons per square kilometer. So that's basically about the constituency. Most of the people suffer from chronic poverty, with poverty estimated somewhere around 85% of most of the people live below the poverty datum line. And also, according to the sub-national analysis report of 2019 from the Ministry of National Planning at the time, it is reported that extreme poverty stands at around 70%. So you can see that the main challenge obviously is chronic poverty in that constituency, being a typical rural constituency. So as a Member of Parliament there, I got elected in 2011 on the MMD ticket at the time, but I was not the first time to the National Assembly, having been there earlier as a nominated Member of Parliament from 2008 to 2011, and then in 2011 I contested the seat, and I've been in the National Assembly since then. So in short, I've been elected 3 times by the people of Lukulu, and then I've also been a nominated member once. So if you like, in the National Assembly, this is my 4th term, but in the constituency, it is my 3rd term. So I must say that I've been around for a while, and I wish to pay glowing tribute and gratitude to the people of Lukulu, who have always found me very useful to answer to the development challenges, to represent them here, to be able to participate in national political affairs at their behest. So I say thank you very much to them. Of course, in 2016 I made a switch from the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy and joined the United Party for National Development. So I've been a Member of Parliament of the UPND a 2nd time. I'm a family man, happily married to 1 wife, Nora, and we have 3 lovely children, 1 son and 2 daughters. Our youngest daughter is 17. She's just matriculated from Kapiri Technical Girls School with flying colors in all her 8 subjects. So basically, that is from my side as a family man. In terms of my professional and education background, I'm a medical doctor by profession, fully registered with the Medical Health and Professions Council, having graduated from the University of Zambia Medical School somewhere around 1993, did internship at the University Teaching Hospital, and left to join the private sector initially with the Zambia State Insurance Corporation, who were running medical services at the time. And after that, I went into private practice as a general practitioner on the Copper Belt until 2008, when I was called to national affairs by the late President Rupia Banda as a nominated Member of Parliament, and subsequently appointed as a Deputy Minister. I held 3 portfolios in that government, having Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports, and after a year I was transferred to the Ministry of Works and Supply, again for another year, and subsequently to to the Ministry of Health, where I was Deputy Minister to Honorable Kapemba Simbao until the elections of 2011. So basically, that is to sum up exactly my political journey as well as my family life and professional background. From the time that I took over as a Member of Parliament in Lukulu East, I think many people attest to the fact that we have made tremendous improvements to the living conditions of our people, especially in the education sector and also especially in the health sector. When I took over the constituency, I think we only had probably 3 or 4 secondary schools. Today we are sitting with 20 secondary schools, and we are only second to Mongu, which is, as you know, is the provincial capital. And very soon we intend to surpass Mongu because of the fact that we now have the Constituency Development Fund. When I took over, I think we had probably not more than 8 health facilities, but today we have 25. 1 modern district hospital, we also have 1 mini hospital and 23 health centers. So I believe that the people of Lukulu, working through me, have made tremendous strides in the health sector, and they have also made tremendous strides in the education sector. Apart from that, when I took over, the entire district was not connected to the national electricity grid. But today, as I speak, the district is connected to the national electricity grid, and this has made life easier, particularly for our public institutions like our hospitals. Currently, we still have challenges in the water sector. The access to clean and safe drinking water is still very much a challenge. We have the biggest challenge, which is very well known even in this house, and also for those that are interested in the political affairs and development affairs of Lukulu. The biggest challenge is the Katunda Watopa Mumbeji Road. This is the main trunk road that cuts through 3 to 4 constituency. The bulk of it is in my constituency, Lukulu. I think if you were to ask anybody in Lukulu currently that what are the 2 most challenges that the people would like to be addressed, top on the list will be the road, this very Katunda Lukulu Watopa Road. Secondly is access to clean and safe drinking water. So with the arrival of the Constituency Development Fund, we believe that the sky is the limit for us. We have used the entire 2022 mostly on building classroom blocks all over the constituency, mostly on building health facilities, mostly on sinking boreholes. We have also empowered communities with loans, we have empowered communities with grants, and we have actually exhausted the entire 2022 Constituency Development Fund. We have just finished expending the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, where we have given out all the loans, given out all the grants. We are just about to advertise finally for more classroom blocks, bridges, 1 mini hospital, and several other classroom blocks and health posts. So as I said, that although our journey, our march towards improving the socio-economic lives of our people started way back when I took over in 2008, the CDF has come to us like manna from heaven. We believe that we are now going to start sprinting. So in terms of water, we believe that being one of the biggest challenges, this is where we come in ourselves. So we have procured, or rather we are in the process of procuring a water drilling rig so that we are able to do it ourselves. So with the arrival, once the procurement process is over, I can only assure my people that challenges of water will be a thing of the past, because we'll be able to provide safe and clean water ourselves. If not on a village-to-village basis, we'll be able to do water reticulation in the entire district, Thereafter, we'll be able to hire out this machine to the surrounding constituencies and raise the extra revenue for the council. In terms of the road, obviously, it's a national development challenge. We are in discussion and dialogue with our colleagues in the executive. That is the minister responsible for finance and national planning, the minister responsible for infrastructure, and we have been assured that steps are being taken to ensure that before the end of 2026 that this road is attended to or upgraded to bituminous standard as is commonly referred to. So we think that we are on course, and I think out of the 19 constituencies in Western Province, a fact which many people may not know, we are actually in the top 10. People may not know that, but this is backed by facts which are available at the Ministry of Finance and National Planning through that report that I fairly referred to. That report lists all the constituencies from the best constituency up to the worst constituency. In that report, you will find that we are, in terms of the province, we are in the top 10. In the country, we are somewhere around number 66, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see that we've been working very quietly because we believe that making noise is not necessarily delivering. My word to our people is that let's continue to work together as you have done. Let's continue to put our heads and our minds together, particularly to my colleagues in the Lukulu Town Council, the CDF committee, to all the youths, to all the women, to all the headmen, that let's continue as before, and as I have never let them down, I'll still not let them down.
Here is an announcement from National Assembly. The following committee meetings over the standing committees for the third session over the 13th National Assembly will start sitting on the following date. Committee on Energy, Water Development and Tourism will sit from 16th to 27th January 2024 in Fanyanga, Mulikita, under the topic, the implementation of a monthly fuel price reviews in Zambia. Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs will sit from 16th to 27th January 2024 in Robinson, Naburiato, under the topic, the state of infrastructure at borders and ports of entry into the country. Committee on National Guidance and Gender Matters will sit from 30th January to 10th February 2024 in Committee Room number 4, under the topic, the review of the gender-based violence response and programming vis-a-vis establishment of victims' shelters, fast-track courts, under the Anti-Gender-Based Violence Fund. Committee on Education, Science and Technology will sit from 30th January to 10th February 2024 in Committee Room number 5, under the topic, a review of the implementation of the education curriculum. Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services will sit from 30th January to 10th February 2024 in Committee Room number 3 under the topic Devolution of Primary Health Care Services in Zambia. Committee on National Economy, Trade and Labor Matters will sit from 30th January to 10th February 2024 in Committee Room number 1 under the topic a review of the informal labor sector and its contribution to the economy. Members of the public and other interested parties may contact the following officers in the office of the clerk. Mr. Stephen Chiwota, Director of Financial Committees, on telephone number 292-425 up to 36. Mrs. Doreen N.C. Mukwanka, Director, Social Committees, telephone number 292-425 up to 36. This information is available on the National Assembly website www.parliament.gov.zm.
I'm a simple person who has a passion for service to humanity, who always want to see that the right thing is done at the right time, in the right way. And I'm that person who always want to fight for equality. I love reading, I love researching, and above all, I also watch series. And I love series, you know, Money Heist. I love like Prison Break. You know, such kind of series which involves thinking. I was born in the village in Chief Chitanda, but grew up in Lusaka, and I did all my school in Lusaka.
Which schools did you go to?
Secondary school, I went to Jacaranda school, just near Pamo's Hotel. Yes. I did something with Zcas, and from there I've done with also, I did the railway engineering with the school for Zambia Railways. Then from there I'm also actually doing tertiary education with ICU University. I'm a combination of some engineering and accountancy. So it's on that in accountancy I didn't go far. It's just a certificate in management chartered accountants. I don't know I can explain my joining of politics because I've not had interest so much to get into politics, but I've always followed politics. And because of the way we've had, you know, the successive government, you know, doing certain things where other people are disadvantaged, other people are advantaged and the like, I got to a point now where I realized, that was in 2016, that I think the way things are going, I should also maybe try and see how I can add a voice also in the political space, and see at least if I can even just influence something to make a difference. We bring in the politics of real issues. We bring in politics of service and not politics of bosses. So it was from there that, with the engagement with people from my constituency, because they always followed me. Moreover, in 2016, I would have stood if I accepted, because I was followed even by the then Chief Ngabwe, the late, that he wanted also me to stand there, but I refused because by then I was not ready. Now, because people always came to me, talked to me, I thought I should not disappoint them. Let me go there and see what we can do together. Lufubu constituency in Ngabwe district is Central Province. My main target is to make the people of Lufubu constituency be part and parcel of the bigger community of Zambia, which has not been the case previously. This is the constituency, I can tell you, from Kabwe to Ngabwe, which is within 100 kilometers. But this is a place that was not even known. This is the place where even when you talk of communication, phones, just a network for phones, it's not there. There's no radio signal right now. Even when I stand here talking to you, I feel bad because not even my people are going to see me, because it's not possible. There's no radio signal. There's nothing there. Just within 100 kilometers from Kabwe, and about 400 kilometers from Lusaka. You can imagine that. So now, for me, what I'm looking at is now to bring this community to be part and parcel of the bigger community of Zambia, where we are going to provide the necessary things that are needed, are required by humans. These are issues of water. You find you go there, people are still drinking, sharing water with the animals in the dams. Now, this time we want to make sure that we provide clean water by drilling boreholes, and we want also to connect them, you know, with the issues of network, radio signal and everything, so that they can be part and parcel of the people who are seeing whatever is happening on daily basis. Education system there, you find there are a lot of, you go on the number of teachers. When you go to the ministry, you find you've got quite a number of teachers who are registered to say they are teaching there. Why is they are not there? You find our kids would go up to grade 7, somebody do not even know how to read. These are things we want to try and see and improve. There are even those who have tried to get to grade 7, they passed. They never used to go anywhere, because you know, education was just something that was not even valued. This time we are valuing all these. We want to connect also the constituents with the road. The road which is there was the last time it was graded was, I'm told, in 89. To date, imagine what kind of a road that is. We want to see, to read that this time at least we can also connect the constituents with the road network and provide all the necessary things that are required for our people, and make sure that the people should feel belonging.
Honorable Member of Parliament, and also good morning, Monza Town Council. My name is Martin Uni. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of Southern Province. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Office of the Auditor General under the Planning and Research Department.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. Good morning, Monza Town Council. My name is Kerin Jinyama Hamajata, Principal Auditor under Southern Province.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. Good morning, Monza Town Council. My name is Inamba Mukubesa, Senior Auditor from Southern Province.
Morning, Chair. Morning, all the honorable members of the committee. My name is Asia Mekedrick, representing the Office of the Accountant General under Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, Monze. My full name is Chibuye Davis, Acting Assistant Director, Local Authorities, Ministry of Finance, Internal Audit.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. Welcome, Monze. I'm Edwin Sirwimba from the Ministry of Local Government and the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Monza Town Council, you're welcome. My name is Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you very much. Monza Town Council, I'll now invite you to introduce yourself and allow your colleagues to do the same.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members. My name is Beston Kajova. I'm the Council Secretary for Monza Town Council.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members of the committee. My name is Muria Edson. I'm the Council Treasurer Monza. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Oscar Chilanga from Monza Town Council. I'm Director, Human Resource and Administration.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. My name is Wachama Swana, Director of Works, Monza Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Midimo Jilundiga, Wash Coordinator.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Conva Muntengwa. I'm the Director Planning.
Sorry, just pull the mic. They're not getting you. If you can
Good
speak
morning,
louder.
Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Conva Muntengwa. I'm the Director Planning.
Just to remind everyone that we are live both on radio and TV, and there's been a concern from the station, TV station, that the voices are quite low. So we speak loud as we speak. Thank you very much. Other officers behind there, can you walk up to the mic, please? Walk up to the mic.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is Tuambo Sabantu, Procurement Officer for Monza Town Council.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Jemima Keita, the Acting Socio-Economic Planner for Monza Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. I'm Susan Chikampa, Internal Auditor for Monza Town Council.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I now invite you, honorable members of Parliament, Honorable Simumba.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, our colleagues, and Happy New Year. You are most welcome to your committee. I'm Honorable Simumba Lucas, Member of Parliament for Nakonde. Thank you very much.
Morning, Chair. Morning, Monza Council. Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province and a member of this committee. You're welcome. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. Monza, it's good to see you. My name is Christopher Shakafuswa, Member of Parliament for Mandevu constituency, here where you are. So you are welcome to the committee and welcome to Mandevu constituency. I'm a member of the committee. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, our permanent witnesses, and good morning, Monza. This is Honorable Mwene Luhamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango constituency in Western Province, Kaoma District. Thank you.
Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and welcome, Monza Council. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament for Mfumbwe constituency in Northwestern Province.
Thank you, Chair, and welcome, Monza. My name is Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza. I'm Honorable member for Kaumbwe constituency, Petauke District in Eastern Province.
Very much, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning once again. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga, Member of Parliament for the good people of Kaburushi. Monza Council, you're welcome. Good morning, our permanent witnesses once again. And good morning, honorable members of Parliament.
Thank you very much. Monza Town Council, my name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the chairperson for your committee, the Committee on Local Government Accounts, the committee appearing before this morning in Monza Town Council. Monza Town Council, members of Parliament enjoy the immunity in the chamber under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, that whatever they say cannot be used against them in any courts of law, and the same is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that whatever you said during our interaction this morning will not be used against you. However, if you choose to mislead, misguide, or misinform this committee, the same Cap 12 will be used against you. But I'm of a firm belief this morning that you will not mislead us and that you are going to give us factual information, the correct information that we are looking for, the information that will help us generate a very good report, the report that we will then submit before the main house. With that guidance, Town Council Secretary, I now invite you to make your submission before this committee.
Thank you, Chair.
With further guidance, Council Secretary, that you are going to read the query, you are going to give us the management responses, you are going to give us the management action it has taken, and of course the remedies that you are offering on every query that is before you or the query that you are submitting this morning. Please proceed in that fashion.
Thank you, Chair, and well guided. I'll start with specific audit findings. Chair, Monza Town Council has 3 constituencies, and so A is Monza Central constituency, community project. Because of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the project in question was implemented and completed with a partial completion certificate issued on 27th March 2023. However, the water from the borehole started showing signs of having collapsed after 5 months of operation, when water from the borehole started coming out with mixed with silt, that is sand. On 29th May 2023, the council met the contractor and the hospital management to understand and resolve the problem in line with the contract, as the problem had developed during the defects liability period. An agreement was reached that a new borehole be drilled, and some of the fittings thereafter were removed as they were considered reusable once the new borehole was drilled. At the time of audit, Chair, the contractor had not drilled the new borehole, and this challenge was not resolved. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contractor has since drilled a new borehole, installed a new pump, a new electric cable, and has also protected the borehole from collapsing again by installing double casing, all at the contractor's cost. There are pictures there, Chair, of the drilling happening. Monza Town Council has still retained the 5% retention amount of 28,000, which shall be paid to the contractor after 29th March 2024, when the defect liability period expires. For further clarity, see below. Of course, it's above. Apologies for that, Chair. And Appendix 1. Remedial measures. The Council will ensure that boreholes drilled in Monza District, especially in Monza Central and Wengwa, are protected using steel casings or drilled using mud rotary technique in order to prevent them from silting and collapsing. Questionable payments. Cause of the query: amounts totaling 926,957 kwacha were paid to various learning institutions without demand notices. See status on Management Letter Appendix 2. Action taken. Management wishes to report that it has since attached the demand notices for the 32 transactions on the payment to the payment vouchers. See Appendix 3, Chair, for the details of those demand notices and invoices. Remedial measures. The Council has enhanced capacity in terms of number of staff handling CDF bursaries in finance and planning in order to ensure that all payments are well supported. B, Chair, is Wengwa constituency. The first query is grant.
Council Secretary, we are reliably informed that this particular query is resolved.
Thank you.
That's the information coming from the auditors. So you skip that one.
Thank you, Chair.
Go to the soft loans.
The soft loans, delayed utilization of funds. Because of the query, management wishes to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wishes to state that Monza Town Council delayed disbursing the empowerment loans for youth, women empowerment due to the late release by government of guidance on the modalities and guidelines for loan disbursement. The guidance was given through circular number 15 of 2022, dated 27th October 2022, issued by the Secretary to Treasury, providing guidance on the engagement of financial institutions. The circular was received on 10th November 2022. Further, Chair, the delay in opening revolving accounts by two financial institutions, that's Atlas Mala and ABSA, further caused the delay in disbursement of soft loans. In terms of action taken, Chair, management wishes to state that following issuance of circular reference number MLGRD/101/22/157 dated 24th March 2023 by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, providing guidance on the operationalization of Constituency Development Fund, Youth, Women and Community Empowerment loans, Council processed and disbursed loans amounting to 2.7 million, Chair, to 21 applicants. The balance, Chair, was utilized to cover bank charges at a rate of 3.5%. See Appendix 5, Chair, for the details of the circular that we're referring to there. Remedial measures, where guidance is required in form of policy on the fund, management will promptly engage the ministry to avoid delays in implementation of projects and utilization of funds. Momba constituency. Query number 1 was under secondary boarding and skills development. The query was questionable payment. Because of the query, amounts totaling 197,970 kwacha were paid to various learning institutions without demand notices. Action taken, management wishes to report that it has since attached the demand notices for the 32 transactions to the payment vouchers. See Appendix 6. Remedial measures. The Council has enhanced capacity in terms of staff handling CDF bursaries in finance planning in order to ensure all payments are well supported. Other observations, Chair. Failure to follow procurement procedures, Wengwa constituency. Cause of the query. Management wishes to acknowledge the findings of the auditors when it undertook a procurement of goods worth 23,645 kwacha without providing written justification for it through single sourcing. Action taken, management through the Office of the Council Secretary has written to the officer that processed the order in line with the conditions of service. Remedial measures, management will ensure that it adheres to all procurement procedures as enshrined in the Public Procurement Act and regulations. Cross-cutting findings, budget performance. The local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made in the Auditor General's report and wishes to submit that the failure to spend 48,135,282 kwacha was attributed to the lengthy project approval process that delayed release of the Constituency Development Fund, Youth and Women Empowerment loans disbursement guidelines. In terms of the action taken report, the local authority has spent a total of 67,397,265 kwacha 67 ingwe for the 3 constituencies as at 31st December 2023. Chair, the tables there guide. So there's a table for each constituency. I don't know whether I should go through.
No, skip the.
Thank you,
tables.
Chair. The Appendix 8 provide a detailed listing of the project's component, community-based project component, Chair, and status for each project. Remedial measure, management will endeavor to ensure that approved allocation is spent within the calendar year. Failure to spend. The local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made in the Auditor General's report and wishes to submit that failure to spend 22,581,717 kwacha was attributed to the lengthy project approval processes and the delayed, Chair, in the release of the 2022 Constituency Development Fund. The action taken, the local authority, Chair, has spent a total of 40 million kwacha for the 3 constituencies, and the summary, Chair, is given in that table, which is showing that we're at 93% as at end of December 2023 for all the constituencies. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to ensure that approved allocation is spent within the calendar year by ensuring that the process of project identification, appraisal, and approval is undertaken in the preceding year in order, indeed as early as possible. Failure to disburse soft loans, that is for Monza Central and Wengwa. The local authority wishes to acknowledge the observations made in the Auditor General's report and wishes to submit that the failure to spend 5,868,700 kwacha was attributed to the delayed release of the CDF loans disbursement guidelines. The action taken, Chair, is that the local authority has spent a total of 5,857,800 kwacha for the 3 constituencies as at 31st December 2023. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to ensure that the approved allocation is spent within the calendar year. Under secondary schools and skills bursaries and spent funds. Failure to spend bursaries and skills, 10,156,489 kwacha. The Council, through the Momba and Wengwa Constituency Development Fund committees, made variations by moving 6,995,750 kwacha from skills and bursaries to community projects. The funds have since been spent under community projects. The other balances have been spent on skills training under training in the financial year 2023 on skills. The table there, Chair, provides the picture of the environment and that 6.9 million kwacha. Remedial measures, the Council will ensure that in disbursing, it disburses all funds in accordance with the CDF guidelines. The failure to report. The local authority made payments to learning institutions for students who did not report, amounting to 234,433. Action taken, management reconciled the position with the learning institutions, and 114,700 kwacha has since been recovered, and the balance of 37,040 kwacha is yet to be refunded to the Council by Monza Youth Project, a school run by the Catholic Church. Appendix 10, Chair, refers. The reconciled position verified by auditors in the management letter status is as indicated in that table, Chair. Management remedial measures. Management will ensure all payments are based on verified list of students, invoices, and not on list of approved students by the CDF committee.
Thank you very much. We are as well informed that the Appendix 10 has been resolved, missing payment vouchers.
Thank you, Chair.
So I think that ends your submission. Honorable Simumba, Honorable Kamondo, Honorable Monza, and Honorable Nyambosa, Honorable Shakafoso, respectively.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, my question is on page 5 and page 7 because they are almost the same. Page 5, questionable payments on page 5, and also there is also questionable payments on page 7. Okay. So I thought we made it. Chair, during this time, under the review time, the council made payments to totaling 1,269,174, involving 8 transactions to various schools and skills training centers for students sponsored by under CDF. However, the payments were made without invoices, demand notices from the learning institutions. Also on page 7 is the same, Chair. There it was about 21 transactions. The question, Chair, that begs an answer is this the standard for Monza Town Council to make payments without any supporting documents? Where were you basing your payment on if you made these payments without these supporting documents? Also, do you have internal audit unit that controls your internal transactions? I think these are the first 2 questions, Chair, that I would want the Council to give us an answer. I submit.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. The first question, if I got it correctly, is this the standard? Chair, of course, now it is not. We must acknowledge, Chair, that there was this omission in 2022. We were basing the payments on the approved lists and the authority from POGO for payment to the schools. In some cases, Chair, as it was rightly pointed by the auditor. And this, Chair, is no longer the case because now we are demanding for invoices as well as demand notices from institutions, Chair. I submit.
Follow up. The second one.
Yes, Chair, we have internal audit, and as I mentioned, Chair, it was a lapse on our part because then, Chair, it was viewed that the list of approved students, the minutes from the CDF committee, and the approval from the ministry through the POGO were adequate. However, Chair, we were guided even through the ministry last year. There was a circular that was issued providing guidance in terms of how to support these payments. So that is no longer the case, Chair.
Honorable Nyambosa.
Thank you, Chair, once again. CS. I want you to read with me the remedial measure on page 5. The Council has a enhanced capacity in terms of number of staff handling CDF bursaries in Finance and Planning Department in order to ensure all payments were supported. 38 transactions in the first case and 21. If you look at the transactions, do you attribute this lapse to the officers, the number of officers, or disregarding the regulation? Because 38 transactions, do you need staff? And if you have enhanced, from where? Who are these? Can you share with us the letters or any confirmation of the said officers? For me, Chair, the number of officers is not an issue here. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. The observation, Chair, is well appreciated. The issue we had, Chair, was that we were filing those demand notices and letters in the main CDF files because when this query was raised, first of all, as a preliminary audit issue, we discovered that some of the documents we had them, but they were in the box files for the main CDF and were not attached to the payment voucher. And of course, at the time, we only had one socio-economic planner. We have 3 constituencies, Chair, as I've mentioned. And in terms of the accounting staff, we were using accounts assistants to help us account for the fund. And so what we have changed now, Chair, is that from the committee side, there are 3 committee clerks that have been attached to each constituency for purposes of minuting. And also, we have received 2 socio-economic planners. She's one of them. She just recently joined us from Livingstone City Council. And there's another socio-economic planner who came recently from Mitete. And Chair, I don't have their letters. We didn't anticipate that question. However, she's here. She can bear me witness. I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. The second question comes from Honorable Shakafuso. Or is no, a different. It's a different one. Okay. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
not on the same.
Yeah, so Chair, I note that these vouchers now have been attached, the documents that were not presented to the auditors. How's your filing system? Do you file these documents separately? And why were they not availed to the auditors at the time of audit?
Town Clerk, I'm Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as I indicated earlier, it was a lapse on the part of the council. Filing was also affected, like I indicated earlier. We have in the main registry the 3 box files for the constituencies. So apparently that's where most of the correspondences were sitting, and they were not being lifted to support the CDF payments. However, what we have done also in the CDF in finance is, Chair, to split. We now have an accountant assigned to each constituency. And Chair, we've seen that we have made serious progress. As you can see, that these were not the only transactions, there were actually more. And even at the time of verification, we had 38, yes, but it reduced to about 32. And so these documents, we're actually finding them, Chair, in the box files. I must admit that our filing wasn't up to standard. Chair, we've made strides to improve it.
Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I would like to take you to page 3.
Page 3.
I would like to find out more so that we don't have a reoccurrence on these people that drill our boreholes. Honorable Chairperson, it has become a trend. Most of the people that do the drilling, most of the boreholes are collapsing. Now, I don't know what could be the problem. And that also means that they will delay the people who wanted that water so urgently. My first question is this. Do you have a water department in your council, a water engineer? And if you have, did you also play a part to make sure that the site is well actually organized so that they can avoid actually these wells from collapsing? The second one, now that they have done a new borehole, what assurance are you going to give to the people of Monza that the same borehole is not going to collapse, especially that this contractor was paid 100%. Then I want also, just on that one, maybe I conclude, I take you to Appendix 1 on the contract agreement. Just a concern anyway. Who signed this contract on behalf of Monza Council? I have a name like Chirundika, Mr. Chirundika. Who is Mr. Chirundika?
Chair, Mr. Chilondika was a witness.
Okay, he's
Yes.
a witness.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the first page, the contract agreement. Maybe if you can read, this contract agreement was signed with who?
Chair, that observation was noted even by us. We brought the contract as it is and as it was at the time of audit. We noticed, Chair, that there were serious omissions. The date is not indicated and the name of the contractor, even if they signed on the other page, but the details were not captured.
So
Chair.
you can go ahead and answer those questions.
Thank you so much. As I mentioned, maybe, Chair, to start with this, we didn't want to make or to complete this. We wanted to bring it as it was, so that after here then, we are done, then we can correctly fill in the missing gaps, Chair. We have the water coordinator is with us, Mr. Chirundika, and yes, Chair, he played a part in terms of citing, and even now he still played a part, Chair. And I think, Chair, he's the one that even provided guidance in terms of what needed to be done. Chair, allow me to take your committee to page 4. You will notice, Chair, in the first picture that there are two sets of casings. There's one that is gray and the blue one. So the gray one, Chair, is bigger and the blue one smaller. I think there's 5 and 6 inch. So this was in order to try and secure the borehole. So the bigger casing is acting as protection to the smaller casing. We noticed, Chair, that the soil formation here and even in Wenga constituency, Chair, we have this challenge of boreholes collapsing. And so for this particular one, Chair, that was not anticipated. However, the contractor has been gracious enough to provide 2 sets of casings, which was not even stated in the contract, just as a way of securing the borehole. But it's a lesson we have learned, Chair. I submit.
Honorable Monza, Honorable Nyambose, and then Honorable Shakafuso. We ask one question.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Well, I'll just lump it onto supervision. I have a lot of technical questions pertaining to this water supply system. As you know, for that at a hospital, we cannot joke around with water supply. And I've perused through your minutes. You even looked at Swasco to provide water to the water tanks. Just to, I want to thank you because, of course, that time you just want to find a solution. There are several questions, and now you just said that the water engineer, he played a very vital role to do borehole siting. When you do borehole siting, it will give you information about the strata, the geological formation. It will also give you information about the depth of water, so that whilst you are drilling, you are able to design your pump to be at what depth. So this particular borehole, it could be the problem that the position of the borehole is within the silt strata. Now the question is, did the water engineer got involved in I don't know what level of involvement, because the scope of work for the contractor stated that he was going to do borehole siting, drilling, equipping, and providing the distribution network. So at what level did our council engineer involve himself in
borehole siting, because borehole siting is cardinal. You have to point at a place that is economical, that will give you enough yield of the water. So it will not have the same problem. To me, I believe it is a problem of the position, the location for the pump. You know, it has to be in reference to the borehole siting, the geophysical information. Management-wise, it is lack of supervision, because for a borehole, you don't need to supervise for many days. So
Summarize your question.
The other question is about the management now. This contractor was paid 100%. And in your remedial measures, somewhere you are saying you have 10% retention. Where is the 10% coming from when you have already stated that the contractor was paid 100%?
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, Chair, partly he has asked the issue of 10% retention. Casings are the most expensive part of boreholes, Chair. Learning my basic knowledge in Chasefu. In Chasefu, we do double casings. You have said that this contractor was generous or gracious. You used gracious actually. He was gracious that on the second borehole that he drilled, he had to put double casings himself. He had to put electrical cables, everything. When you do a rough calculation of those things, just casings, and the depth of the borehole, it's a huge amount of money. The auditors noticed that this contractor was paid 100% on the borehole that collapsed, the first borehole. The time, Chair, depriving the hospital of the much needed resource, water resource. He came back to drill another one at his expense, whether provided in the contract. But the casings that he put, where did the money come from? All the works in your remedial, the action taken there, you have indicated that he did everything. What a generous contractor who used his own monies for this. And you said, as he said, retention. Who is telling the truth to this committee? You are saying there was a retention. Auditors are saying that they were paid 100%. Can we get who is telling us the truth? Council Secretary. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I'll take the other parts of the question. Maybe the technical part, I will invite the water coordinator to come in. Chair, the amount that we've retained is correct, which is 5%. The initial retention was 10, 5 was paid, and 5 is not paid up to now. And therefore, Chair, with your indulgence, I'd want to request that a verification be made with the auditors so that we speak one language. At the time, of course, the query was raised. This is how it was. But when we remained preparing, Chair, for coming, we went through the details and we actually didn't pay 100%, Chair.
And so communicate to the auditors.
Chair, just a short one. Chair, Council Secretary, for us as a committee, we are here. You had the audit process where the auditors spotted that you had paid 100% and there was no retention that was remaining. You left that process without getting in touch with them to drop this particular query. Again, a few days before you came here, you read through this report, and now you want to ask this committee to give you more time to engage with the auditors. Are you going to come back so that we have follow-up questions on this matter? Or you are saying that, oh no, leave it as a committee, we are going to engage with the auditors? Is it the practice that you are bringing? Because I've seen so many councils doing the same. Chair, leave this for us and the auditors. As we want to know and rest this matter, who is telling the truth? Can you provide that evidence to show that certificate that had retained 5% or 10%. Show us. You are here. You have an opportunity to present to this committee. Thank you.
Chair, I wouldn't really want to come out like we are giving to or contradicting with the auditors, but the picture that we are giving is correct. Chair, I wish we carried those certificates. We even have a letter, actually, the contractor requesting, because the contractor, one of the challenges why it took them so long to even come on ground is what the honorable member has mentioned. The retention amount was so little because according to them, they spent 30,000 for drilling alone. But then what was giving us the strength was a contract, and the contract provided that should there be any defects within 12 months, they needed to come back to correct those defects. So we're not really looking at how much it was going to cost the contractor. We're looking at what the contract provided. So when the borehole, the first one collapsed, unfortunately they couldn't retrieve the pump. So that's how they lost the pump. So they had to also procure the pump. But all that, Chair, was at their expense because that's what they signed up for. So it was not really the question of where will they get the money. Is it commensurate or is it equivalent to the retained amount? But what was signed for, Chair. The technical part, Chair, with your indulgence, the water engineer maybe will talk about.
Water engineer.
Thank you very much. With regards to the question that the Honorable asked, I think the siting, drilling, and the other works was within the contract of the contractor. When the bore was drilled, I think the problem we had with the hospital is that the hospital premise on the other side where they have existing boreholes, basically the water yield was not indicating to be quite sufficient for the hospital. But the other side where we had the site cited by a geophysicist, it indicated that it had a lot of water, except that the soil formation, the geological formation of that position where the site had put a bore, when it came to drilling, I think we had the challenge with regards to drilling. So what we took note when we drilled the second bore, we made sure that we had to put extra casing, and also we took into consideration the actual the gravel that we put, and we are also praying that looking at how the water is coming, I think we have enough water supply within the area where the site had put a borehole. So with regards to the lifespan of the borehole, we provided the remedy in terms of the casing and the slots for the screens, and for us, I think that's the technical information that I can give for now. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Singombe, then Honorable.
Chair, I'm very grateful. Chair, maybe my question is more of a general one, because I have in the past heard of some of the local authorities have submitted that the retention period is 6 months. And I'm hearing the retention period is 12 months. Chair, I wanted to know whether each contract has its own retention period, or whether we have a standard. What does the law stipulate with regards to the retention period? Thank you very much, Chair.
Local government, are you able to chip in?
Chair, not really. I will need to consult.
All right.
I don't want to mislead the House.
Thank you. Honorable Nyambose, you want?
Yes, Chair, page 8. Chair, page 8, failure to follow procurement procedures. Wengwa constituency.
Page 8.
Chair, contrary to the regulations, On 12th January 2022, the council procured goods and services in amounts totaling 23,645 kwacha from Uwone Enterprise Limited without obtaining competitive bids. Further, no reason was availed as to why the procurement was single-sourced. Action taken, Chair. Management, through the office of the Council Secretary, has written to the officer that processed the purchase order in line with the conditions of service. Chair, question. Management to remedial measures. Management to ensure that they adhere to the procurement procedure as enshrined in the Public Procurement Act and the regulation. Chair, I refer you to the appendix that they have referred us to. Chair, Appendix 7. Appendix 7, Chair, Mr. Ezekiel Musole, Assistant Procurement Officer, LGSS 10, Monza Town Council, on 4th December 2023, from January in 2022, when this matter occurred, on December 4th, 2023, he was written to and charged. The interest, Chair, is a response from the same Ezekiel Musolo. Chair, paragraph 3, which is the next page. He was exculpating himself to the area charge of 4th December. He says, paragraph 3, that's where the interest is. However, there was a shortage of roofing materials, which included IT4 roofing sheets. This led to the Works Department issuing another requisition for additional roofing materials. Interestingly, the school administration and the community requested that the same supplier be engaged to ensure uniformity in the quality of iron sheets. This, they said, because they were extremely impressed with the quality of the roofing sheets which were initially delivered. I will not go into detail. The first question, Council Secretary, I will also refer to the response of the Director HR. And my response will go to the second last paragraph of the letter written by the Director HR. It says, after reviewing your case, I do acknowledge that apart from being a first offender, you have been remorseful in your exculpatory letter, and you have also shown that you take full responsibility for the negligence in how that specific procurement process was handled. In light of the foregoing, you have been given a written recorded warning for your actions. Chair, according to the regulations, which are well stipulated, one cannot procure without accompanying competing invoices or quotations. But this particular person negligently did so, disregarding the, and he is justifying that I did so because the community and the school headmaster said, no, don't buy from anywhere else. Is it true, Council Secretary, that shops with the same gauge, the same quality, cannot be found elsewhere? It's only that particular point. And is this charge or the action taken by the Director HR showing any seriousness over this matter? Because this was serious negligence which demanded that this particular person could have gotten serious sanctions because these are learned officers who understand what is due in their duty and offices. I beg to move, Chair.
Secretary.
On the same.
An addition.
Yes, an addition. Chair, there are a lot of irregular payments that are being done by Monza. There is even questionable payments. Here, failure to follow the procurement procedures. I would want to find out also from the internal auditor, Chair, if really he or she passed this payment and on what basis. Because it's like the internal audit unit also, it's not that adequate. We need to know what happened. Did he or she indicate that this payment can't pass, or he or she approved it, Chair? I submit.
Thank you. Councillor Secretary.
What one important one? Why did it take 2 years for management to charge the said officer, Mr. Musolo, until the auditors came to pick that query? 2 years the officer was not being charged. Okay. Why?
Councillor Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of whether the action was adequate, I think the Director Human Resource will add. However, Chair, when we perused our condition of service, being a first offender, a written warning is what is provided for. In terms of what actually even led to all this, Chair, was if you read the exculpatory letter, he was first of all trying to justify that the 3 quotations were there. They were just not attached and all that. And that is what we were meant to believe until when the auditors came and they analyzed the payment and we agreed with them that indeed initially they were not there. That's what led us to actually charging the officer.
So without seeing those 3 quotations, Councillor Secretary, you believed until the auditors came. Yourselves, you believed that there are those 3 quotations which you had not seen, but you believed.
Chair, we had actually seen them, but of course when we did our own investigations, they were just recently obtained. And so that is why we went ahead to charge the officer.
But what I'm saying, Councillor Secretary, you are suggesting or you are putting it to this committee that you actually saw the 3 quotations. Which quotations you could not produce when the auditors came? When the auditors were at your station, if you believed there are other quotations, 3 quotations, so you are saying this question would not be appearing today because you would have dropped it, isn't it? So at which point did you get to know that actually the 3 quotations existed?
Chair, the 3 quotations were actually seen by the auditors, except the other 2 could not be accepted.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the scenario we had. They were there, even the auditors saw them, except they could not be accepted because of that technicality.
Okay.
So that's what prompted us, Chair, to charge the officer 1 year after the transaction had taken place.
So in short, your eyes could not detect that?
At the time, Chair, we couldn't detect.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes. Internal auditing. Did you see this particular payment? Internal audit. You can use that one there.
Thank you, Chair. For the period under review 2022, we had an impairment. So we only did the post-audit in 2023. So pre-audit in 2022, no, we had an impairment. Thank you.
What's that impairment?
We were not auditing.
Okay.
We were given access in the following year.
Yeah, we wanted to, to understand the language. So in our language, non-accounting officers, you were not working that year. You had no
No,
access.
no, Chair. Okay, when I say impairment,
Yes.
we would want to audit, but we couldn't. We're not given to do pre-audit. So we made follow-ups, and those follow-ups we made up to 2023. We audited when payments were already done in 2023. We were auditing what has already been
get
paid.
you.
Thank
I
you.
get you.
Hello.
No, just speak. Ask it. No.
The question is, Chair.
Ask it through me.
I don't understand. I need. Chair, I
go
need
ahead,
to.
please.
As a committee, we need to be. This is jargon. We are not into this. Maybe she can clarify very well. Why were they making payments without being audited? That's the question. And when you say we were not allowed, who was not allowing? And if this was a trend, don't you think that why resources were not properly managed is because of the same? Who was stopping you from doing pre-audits? Then what did you mean by impairment? Can you explain in simple terms so that the people of Zambia understand?
Honorable Nyambose, you have made your point very clear. Auditor, you are alluding to the fact that actually you are not doing, in 2022, you are not doing pre-audits, meaning you didn't see all these payments, but in 2023, that's when you had access. So members, once they want to understand clearly what it means. Was it government program that this year, please don't touch the audits, or it was just from that local authority or anything? Just clarify your point.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'll use the word, or maybe we had a limitation. Yes, we are supposed to audit. We made the follow-up. We went to CS's office. CS wrote to finance. They couldn't avail. The furthest we could report was to audit committee. We were not availed. But currently, we are doing the pre-audits.
Yes, the question is who stopped? Start from who stopped. You say, no, we are not doing this because we are told, or we have this document, or have this instruction, so that it's put to rest.
Chair, maybe before she comes in, what led to that impairment?
Yes. So
before she responds, Chair, I know you are a finance person. I've worked in the council. No payment can be paid without passing through audit. That's what I know. But why were you chasing? Why were you not allowed? Is it only in Monza or the entire local government system?
Honorable Nyambose, that is what we want to explain. So we want to hear that, which is a bit strange.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'll try to explain as simple as possible as I can. We were auditing, Chair. Then at some point, it just stopped. Payments couldn't come. We followed up. Payments couldn't come.
Oh, auditor,
yes.
auditor. My officer, our officer, I want you to you relax. Okay? I want you to relax. You are not in a dock. You're just having a conversation. What we want you to say, not at some point you are stopped. You say, there was a memo, that is to start with, or there was no memo, or the system could not allow us to reach this, because you were not able to do that. So start from the beginning. Say, no, what made you not to access? What brought that impairment? First, the genesis. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chair. There is no memo and there is no any correspondence that stopped us from doing those audits of PVs. It's just the system that stopped for our council.
Is it the human system or the system itself?
The human system.
The human system.
Mm-hmm.
So they could not allow you to do that.
Sure, Chair.
And just a minute. If they didn't do that, did you write to them that we are supposed to be doing this, but we are stopped?
Sure, Chair. We did. We reported to CS's office. He also did this part. We also reported to audit committee. Thank you.
Honorable Shagafuso.
I want to understand.
I'm tired with the short ones.
Just like my colleague, me, I'm always short. Just like my height, even my questions are very short.
No, but I'm saying I'm tired. I'm tired with the short ones. Yeah, so,
we want a long one this time.
Honorable members.
I want to understand, Chair.
Question. Let's come back to the meeting. Honorable
So,
Shagafuso, please.
you are telling this committee that payments were being finalized without passing through your office. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
A short one.
Yeah, a short one, Chair. Monza Council. Chair, when you look at the payment vouchers, I just want to give a... Where there is audit, take interest, Chair. Where there is audit, most of the witnesses, you find a blared date stamp without dates. Now, my suspicion is being confirmed that if you see the evidence that come, these auditors don't. You find the spaces or the portions where council secretary, director of finance, they will sign and put a stamp. But on audit, take interest, they will just put a stamp. And that stamp would not have a date, it will be blared. So confirming that payments are being made without audit. Chair, I just wanted to satisfy myself.
Thank you.
This is the new standard in councils, and the resources are at risk. Thank you.
I'm making a comment actually on that. Seriously, we realize to some point that government is losing a lot of money, and one of the ways that the government is losing a lot of money, and I'm sure local government is paying attention, Minister of Finance, the auditors themselves. There is no way we would have a situation where audits are being stopped, whatever, and we want a clear response from the auditors, because the Minister of Finance and the auditors, you supervise this. So it's quite strange, but we can't resolve it here the way we are seeing it, and we want to encourage auditors to go back to Monza and get the truth about this year, the whole year, and how many payments. We need to know how many payments went through without the internal auditors' knowledge, and then we want to know the amounts, how many payments, the amounts in that year, and we need to get to the bottom of this same issue. It's quite serious, and we will not leave it to go, scotch-free like that. Honorable Sumambi, you want to say something?
Yes, Chair. Chair, very grateful. I just wanted the CS to confirm that indeed the office stopped this. Maybe he was not in the office. I wanted him to confirm to the allegation coming from the internal auditor that it was indeed his office or his system that brought about the impairment.
I know for sure he's very new there, but I will not speak for you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, of course, like as you've rightly mentioned, 2022, I was not there. But if I got the auditor correctly, what she mentioned, Chair, was that there was a gap in terms of auditing before payments were made, which was an anomaly.
Yeah.
But that anomaly was rectified because the same payments were sent to auditors and they went through them. And Chair, they were checked from the position the auditors given. However, we are still open to what you have guided in terms of coming to look at the payments again. Chair, that is welcome. Just to assure your committee.
Because what is
Chair,
one minute. What is alarming is when she says the whole year, we are in 2022, we are not doing this. That's why That's what we want to verify it, so that at the end of the day, we get the truth. We get the report from there, and I want us to move to another question.
Last comment. CS, avoid changing statements. If this payment was seen without other supporting documents, she was going to stop it from the post audit. It had already been paid. That's when she saw them, which the chair is addressing, which was the case which led to this. So let us carry her position and protect her position. You have come to control things, and things are being done properly now. That's what you should say. But you don't say, no, these things were there. No, don't say that.
Council Secretary, your comment?
Chair, I agree with that position. That's exactly what I was trying to say. I was just trying to clarify the fact that the vouchers actually passed there, except the anomaly was that they should have gone there before the payments were made. So I'm just agreeing with your committee, Chair.
Thank you very much. Monza Town Council, local government.
Thank you, Chair. I think I remember Honorable from Dundumwenzi asked about the retention period. I've just seen it in the guidelines. It's on page 35. If anyone has got guidelines, it's on page 35, and it's on M, page 35. It's saying it can be retained within the 12 months.
1 year.
Just within 12 months after the contract, 10% may be retained. That's what it's saying.
Thank you very much. We want to, as we conclude. Okay, the last one.
The last question may be on page 13.
Page 13.
Yes, unspent funds. Cause of query failure to spend bursaries, 10,156,489. Now the action taken, they've just reported, Chair, to this committee that the council through the Momba and the Wengwa Constituents Development Fund Committee, they've made variations by moving 6,995,750 from skills and bursaries to community projects. And this is just a statement, Chair, without any evidence to this committee that really they have done that. And when you look at the appendix, Chair, which they requested the ministry to approve, is showing 4.1. I don't know where they have taken the other money, because according to them, the variation here is only 4.1, Chair. And here, they are reporting that they moved 6.9. Where is the difference? Where did you take the difference to? Chair, I submit.
Secretary.
Thank you so much, Chair. That first letter is only dealing with one constituency, Chair, which is Momba. So that 4.1, if you go to page 13 in the table, is referring to Momba constituency. Then the 2.8 was under Wengwa. These are the minutes, Chair, that have been provided there. The treasurer. Yes. On page 7, the minutes, the same appendix after the letter, the minutes on page the same appendix 9. Yes. The first one is an approval letter. Then the other one was done last year. And these are the minutes of the CDF committee on page 9. Page 7, apologies, Chair. Under 2022 skills, you will see the 2.895 under the proposed environment.
Yes.
I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much. Monza Town Council, we want to appreciate your appearance this morning, but we want you to seal up the gaps that are in your report. We want to see that development is everywhere, it's taking place everywhere. We see you echo even things that are not in this report, but they are under your mandate. That one of the things that we also need to do is to make sure that we deliver service. Cleaning our towns, or our town is one of them, and the cholera is in Monza and in Mazabuka. Partially we are to blame, because that disease doesn't arise where cleanness live. So we should take it upon ourselves that we encourage our communities to make sure that standards are maintained. We appreciate your appearance, and it's our wish that actually we do not see you under the CDF, queries as you appear sometime next year. But we know that on operations you should be coming back in April. So wish you well as we withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our meeting. You may travel well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you to the committee for having us.
Shakir's Entertainment Record.
Bama kukumbwa bonse pachipanda. You so beautiful, you so natural.